Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jonathan Herman, and I promised y'all guys just a few weeks ago that I would do a review on the bow I've been shooting. Y'all guys seen me shoot a couple times getting it sighted in, and what it is, it's the whitetail hunter made by Barnett, and I'll give you a look at it right here. This is I don't know what the length on it is, or really what the weight is. It's one of the, I guess you'd say, the mid-grade, mid-priced bows they make. Let's look at the stock. It has a little extended stock right here. Now you don't extend it in it. It's just got a little extension here. But I'll give you a little bit of the features on it, on the bow. What it actually comes with. It does come with, I think it comes with 2 arrows, and they're called the headhunters. And I can't remember what the length on these are either. Yeah, there's 20 inches is what they are, and it's actually just the Barnett type arrow that it comes with, and that's what I buy. And I bought this bow at Dick's, and I can't remember how many. I think I've had this bow 4 years. I think I told y'all guys I killed an 8-pointer with it. It's the first deer I killed with it, and my review on this bow is going to be good, but I can't compare it to any other bow. But as far as crossbows, I had compound bows, but as far as this bow here, for me, it's just a good deal for me. Shoots real good. It's a real sweet shooting bow. My son's got another type bow. I can't remember what it is. May do a review on it. But what this bow comes with, it comes actually with the cable. Comes with the cocking cable. And let me get it off here. It's a pretty good size. I've seen some other cocking cables on these other bows, and they're not real sturdy. But this one here is a pretty heavy cable, so you don't have to worry about it popping loose. Like I say, it comes with a quick release quiver, and this quiver right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But it's a quick release right here. And it's not going to be quick release for me now since I'm trying to video. But you just press this button in right here. Quick release here. Takes it plumb off. And it has the anti-friction type trigger on it. Now this bow, I think a year before I actually bought this bow, they had a recall on, not the bow, but the actual trigger. The trigger that was on the bows, I'm going to say it was 4 years ago, possibly 5 years ago when I bought this bow, but the trigger mechanism on them had a fault in it. It would accidentally go off and become a danger, a hazard, safety hazard. So they had a recall on it, and they put a new trigger on it, and it's called let's see, I can't remember. It's the Trigger Tech, and it's anti-friction type. It's anti-dry fire trigger mechanism on them. This bow here actually come with what they call the cross scope, made by Cross, and it's a 4x32. That's what this is. But now it looks like, from what I can see and tell, that they went to another scope. It's called the Halo, and I don't know anything much about the Halo scope. read some on it. Seems to be as good as what these cross are. This cross is real clear. Not had any problem with this scope in particular as far as fogging up or anything. It has a luminodot inside, red and green color, whatever you prefer. The strap here is don't come with the strap, but it does come with some other extra things. A little to deaden for your strings when they slap up against when you fire the bow. These little baffles here. It comes with extra of those. Actually, comes with one broadhead that I remember, and I think it was called the Grave Digger, and it was pretty wicked broadhead. It was mechanical, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I used it on a deer hunt. But it does have the finger safety guards. I think most crossbows do now. But it does have your finger safety. It's pretty neat. It's a sleek looking bow. I mean, for your money. And when I bought this bow, like I said, 4 or 5 years ago, I gave right at $500 for it. Now, you're probably not going to be able to get the same bow for $500. It's probably going to be more. Like anything in the hunting industry, in the fishing industry, it's all going to go up. It hardly goes down unless you can find, a dealer or somebody that gives you a discount or something. No, Dick's and places like that, sometimes they run a discount on stuff. But at the time I bought this bow, it wasn't on discount, and there wasn't no, like I say, wasn't no discount on or anything. I paid full price. So if you can find a bow that you like, like I say, I hadn't shot a lot of bows. You got Pearson, you got Hoyt, you got the 10 points. You got the other. Barnett makes a pretty good size range of different types of bows. They're ranging anywhere from $200 for a lower. I'm thinking, I looked at that bow not long ago. I'm thinking it might be, sort of a youth type bow, a lady's bow, and on up to $700, and if not more. I hadn't looked at all of them, but anyway, that's this bow. This bow is rated at 350 feet per second. My cousin and his brother, they've got Barnetts too. I'm trying to think what they are. I can't remember what they're a grade higher than this one. I think theirs is probably 375, 400 feet per second, just a little bit quicker than this bow. But guys, I'm not shooting across the football field. My distance when I'm shooting is probably at the most 40 yards. I might take a 45-yard shot. The other day I was shooting 35. I don't really have, like I said, I don't hunt fields, I hunt woods. I have to pick my shot, and for me to want to shoot more than 45 or more than 40 yards would be pretty ridiculous for me, because my chances I'm going to hit something that I'm not seeing down the shooting path that I'm trying to shoot. But that's this bow. I know it's pretty quick. Like I say, it's got the trigger tech, which is what they have on, from what I can tell from all the bows. That's what it comes out with. I think they may have a patent on that. I'm not sure. But I do know that Barnett, the company Barnett, went out of business, and I don't know if it was bankruptcy or what, but they did get bought out by another company. But I think they bought the name. The bow does have a good warranty, as far as I know. One of my cousins bought his, and it had the trigger problem, and had to recall when he had to send the bow back in. They sent him a courtesy gift, and what he figured up, I mean, they sent him some trail cameras. They sent him a bow case. I can't remember all what he figured it up just by what he could figure up, and he said it's almost probably $400 to $500 worth of merchandise that they sent to him for free. And I'm assuming that was probably on recall on that bow that they ever had, but like wasn't on the bow, it was the trigger that was on the bow. So instead of them asking the people to take the trigger off the bow, they just wanted the whole bow sent back in. And so I thought that was pretty neat when they done that for him, and other people give him a package for having to send it in the recall. But my opinion, Barnett's a good good bow. The company that makes them is a good company, as far as I know. Some people have their own their own opinion. They may not like Barnett, but I like the bow, and I would recommend it. I would recommend this bow, and the other ones that they make. I'm not saying that Hoyt or Pearson or any of them makes a bad bow, but I'm just saying this bow here, particularly, I've shot it and I've not had any issues with it. So you guys make up your mind if y'all looking into getting a crossbow, and I don't get any kickback on this, guys. Y'all know, if y'all been watching long, this is just a new channel that I've just started up, and just trying to put content out, some information. But I want to talk to y'all just a minute, just a little bit longer. I don't make this too long, because I know people don't like to hear a lot of sit down and watch somebody talk and beat their gums together. But me and a friend was talking about kinetic energy, and you talk about that in your bullets that you shoot, the ammo that you shoot in your rifles, whatever it might be, 30-06, 30-30, 308, 243, 270, 7 mag, whatever. But all of them have different type of kinetic energy in that bullet. Well, the bows have a kinetic energy too, in the arrow that they shoot. And we got talking about the kinetic energy and what it once that arrow is released, it has that kinetic energy for the first few seconds, just like which a bullet's has a lot more velocity, but it starts losing that kinetic energy. Now the kinetic energy in the arrow is not the same, particularly as what you would say in a projectile bullet. The kinetic energy factor is the penetration of your arrow. How much kinetic energy is behind that arrow after you've shot? Say, like I said, I wouldn't shoot no farther than 40 yards because I've done lost kinetic energy in my arrow, and I want full penetration. I want a complete through shot. I want my arrow to go through the animal, double lung, through the heart. But I want it complete penetration. We see a lot of videos, these guys shooting these, and a lot of it is compound bows too. They shoot, and not throwing off on these guys. They kill the deer and they get them, but a lot of times you see the arrow and it sticks in the deer and it doesn't go all the way through. Whatever it may have hit the shoulder, may hit a bone, but when that arrow hits that deer, the kinetic energy is dramatically dropped. So you got to have good penetration. So what I'm getting at is, why does people shoot fixed blades, and why do some people shoot, well, I'll get it out in a minute. The mechanical arrows, or the broadheads. Why do they shoot those? Well, this is my theory, and and my thinking on it. I've shot both, and I sort of, in a way, I like the mechanical arrow, and I'm going to explain why. You're speaking of kinetic energy. You got, I didn't bring a fixed blade, but I do have a mechanical. This is what I shoot. This right here is a mechanical arrow, which most are broadhead. I'm keep saying arrow, but it's a broadhead. And this right here is what I shoot, and this is what it looks like. Let me get it fixed. This is what it looks like. Get it in the camera. This is what it looks like when it's shot. And when it hits, it's got to take enough force to hit this and make this blade come out just like that right there. That's what it's got to do. Which, that's, most people know that at bow hunts. Some might be watching that don't. But this is what you call a mechanical broadhead. And for the life of me, I've done forgotten what this blade is. I've shot these for a while. most of y'all, it's the Rage is what this is. And I think I don't know if it's the Rage 2 or what it is, but this actually got an inch, and I think inch and 3/4, inch and a half blade after it's mechanically open. But what I'm getting at is kinetic energy. When you have a fixed arrowhead, it has the ability that, in other words, it's just a fixed blade, and it's going to penetrate, but it still has those blades sticking out in flight. Anything that's not, tucked in, I'm explaining what I'm saying tucked in. This is what similar what a fixed arrow would look like with another blade on it. The blades are fixed; they don't move. But anything like this right here has drag on it, just like anything else in an airplane, whatever. It has drag on it, and it's going to slow it down. Now, does it slow it down in 30-yard shot? No. But what I'm getting at is the kinetic energy in these blades here. It takes, if you're shooting, I'll give you an example. If you're shooting this bow, and you're going to shoot what the distance is, the speed it's supposed to be shooting at 350 feet per second. So you're going to shoot, hypothetically, at 350 feet, if you can hit something like that. By that time, that arrow, both arrows, fixed and mechanical blades, have lost a lot of kinetic energy. My theory is that the fixed blade would probably penetrate a little bit deeper if it doesn't have too much drag and slow it down. So this is what I'm getting at. Kinetic energy affects a lot of things and what you're shooting at as far as a deer or whatever. So it takes, when this mechanical arrow hits a target, it has to have enough kinetic energy behind it. You have to understand, like I said, when it hits that animal, it's slowing down a whole lot. So if these blades are not, if they're not a good type mechanical blade, if it don't have enough kinetic energy and you're shooting a long ways, this may not open up like it should. It may falter somewhere. On your fixed blades, and the same thing. If they have, if they don't spin right, if the blades are not, symmetrical, the three blades, or if it's a two-blade fixed blade, if they don't spin right, it may not have enough energy to penetrate. So what we were talking about is the kinetic energy. We always talk about it in bullets, and most of the time when you're talking about a bullet with a kinetic energy, it's the knockdown power of the bullet, whether it be 150 grain or if you're shooting a muzzleloader, if you're shooting 260 grain, the kinetic energy, the expansion of that bullet, and the kinetic energy, that's your knockdown power that's behind that bullet. The big thump. You see a lot of people shoot these deers with rifles, and you see a big, especially when they do it in slow motion, you see this big wave of energy go through the deer. Well, that's the kinetic energy of that bullet. Even though it's small, once it hits and expands, the internal damage is done to that deer. You don't have that with a bow. The kinetic energy is all focused into the blade and the accuracy of the arrow and how much how well the blade is made. So what I'm getting at is we need to make sure we're using the right blades that we're comfortable with, that we don't try to pick the cheapest thing. I have and I've looked at some reviews, and it's changed my mind about being too cheap on what you buy, because when you shoot an animal and you don't have enough kinetic energy to penetrate the deer, have a full penetration all the way through, or enough to kill the animal, then we've really messed up, in my opinion. We've let ourselves down, let the animal down. I hope this ain't been too garbled up, but I hope you understand what I'm saying with kinetic energy. It does apply to anything that we shoot, to a rifle and to the bows. But like I say, it's the kinetic energy. It's not a knockdown. I've never knocked down a deer with a bow. Maybe someone has, hit it in the spine or something, but there's no big heavy thud like a bullet. But like I say, we need to make sure we're picking what we, a good product that we know is going to work. And I know there's a lot of products out there just out there just to be sold. And I haven't named any other than what I use. Just right here, like I say, the Rage, and I've not had any issues with it. But I will tell you this. You cannot compromise on your mechanical blades, because I did, and it cost me. It didn't cost me a buck, but it did cost me a deer. I'm going to show you. And the actual blades I was using didn't have this type band. I'm not sure if you can see this band or not, but there's a little band right here. The band that was on the actual blades I was using wasn't this big. It was smaller, a little bit different. I think they changed maybe a little bit their band a little bit. But anyway, I had shot this one arrow and it was still good, but I had broke the band and didn't have any more. Went and looked for them at Dick's. Went and looked, trying to find some more bands and couldn't. So what I done is I compromised, and I used a rubber band that was made for braces, and it was just as tiny as the band that was on the blade at the time I bought it. But the band that was on the broadhead wasn't a rubber band. It was an actual plastic type band. But this rubber band fit the same way as the plastic band did. In my mind, I thought it was going to work because it would hold the blade, and what happens when this blade is folded, it has a notch in the blade where it hooks into the band. And I'm not sure if you can see all this on camera, but it actually has a little notch right here. There's a notch right there that hooks into the band. Well, it would hook into the rubber band too, and it would hold. I would flex it, make sure it was. But long story short, I was shooting at a doe, and when I shot, I'm 16 feet in the air. I'm not in the big lock-in stand. I don't hunt real high in where I'm at. In a ladder stand. I'm 16, 17 feet high, and the deer's 20 yards away from me. So you can see the trajectory. That's a pretty steep trajectory. 20 yards away, and I'm 16, 17 feet high. So when I shoot this deer, I see her. She bolts, and I can tell she's hit. I heard it hit. But when I get down, my arrow's not sticking up in the dirt. It's laying flat on the ground and sort of under some leaves. So I immediately see that there's something wrong, because if it had been a pass-through shot, the arrow should have been sticking up in the ground, and it wasn't. So I already knew that I was already in trouble. What I assume is I clipped her. I found some stuff on the arrow. It wasn't blood, and I found just a little bit of hair. And I'm thinking I may have hit her way back in the gut. And this was year before last. I called one of my friends. He was on his way over there anyway, but I called him and let him know I had shot one. He come up to where my stand was, and we looked. I think we walked, the distance was around 300 yards, and probably another 150 yards wide of the distance that I thought she ran. We never found no blood. Never found the deer, so I'm hoping that the deer survived. I don't like shooting something and losing it. That's I've lost dove hunting, and I've lost fish. Fishing, that's a whole different story. But you don't want to lose an animal, especially a large animal, and wound it and it run off and suffer and die. So that's all. This is getting down to making sure you don't make a mistake like I did. I told you I was going to tell you about mistakes I made. I made a mistake. I compromised and tried to use something on a mechanical blade that don't work. So guys, if the things that that are called for, such as your equipment, sometimes it's best not to compromise, because it's going to cost you. It cost me an animal, and you know, I didn't, like I said, I didn't find her. Hopefully she didn't, you know, wander off and suffer. So, you know, most time if it's a, you know, far enough back, you know, not no vitals hit inside, the deer may heal up. You know, she's going to have some bad issues probably, but maybe she survived, and I hope she did. But I know this has been drug out a little bit longer than what I wanted it to, but I hope y'all got something out of it, out of the video. Uh, as far as hunting Saturday, which our opening day is this coming Saturday, I'm not sure. I'm going to be optimistic. They're calling for a quarter-inch rain Saturday morning, so I may not be in the woods opening day. I hope I can be, but if, I was telling my son if I could have a 3 or 4 hour lull between a shower, I'd probably go and just, you know, sit and just see if one would move. But, you know, then you got the rain coming and you shoot one and have to track it in the rain. That's something I do not want to do. You know, some guys probably could do it and been doing it for a long time, track one in the rain or whatever, but I'm not going to take that chance and lose one because I can't find a blood trail. So, y'all guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in, appreciate y'all listening to me babble. But just remember, you know, the kinetic energy behind your bullets, kinetic energy behind your arrows that you shoot. There is a difference. In the distance that you're shooting, you are losing that energy. A lot more in a bow and arrow in the yard rifle naturally, but that versus the kinetic energy in a fixed blade and a mechanical blade. The mechanical blade needs a little bit more energy, in my opinion, if you're shooting a long ways to actually hit on the blunt side of the blade to get it to open up to its actual fixed position. And I will tell you this, since I've took so long, a lot of people want to know why is the mechanical blade so tucked in. Well, think about this right here. It's all about aerodynamics. When you shoot your practice arrow, me and my friend at work was talking about this too, and he brought this up, which made sense. If you shoot your practice arrow, you got the field point, which just looks like a bullet. Well, your arrow that's mechanical, that's the same way it is. It's fixed tight in. It's the blade's pushed in tight to represent, in a sense, is that field tip, and it'll fly pretty much about like your field tip. Your broadheads, they don't fly like a field tip. They're going to fly a little bit different. But as you know, all of it's about aerodynamics in anything that you do with bows now, and even in your broadheads. If you've ever watched any wildlife shows, you want to see about the aerodynamics. You watch the falcons and the hawks when they're catching their prey. What do? They fold their wings in tight. You know, that's their natural instinct to do that. And even we do it as humans, as far as in our airplanes, the F-14 Tomcat, when it can actually fold its wings in. That's for more speed. But guys, appreciate y'all watching and watching the channel. If you would, subscribe and hit that like button if you do. And next time if I'm not hunting Saturday, I may be giving you a review on my rifle that I use, but I'm hoping I'm going to be in the woods Saturday. But guys, y'all guys stay tuned. And if you guys get to go hunt Saturday, I hope y'all get one. Appreciate y'all watching.